For myself, I kept investing in like plastic-free shampoo and conditioner, and it did the exact opposite of what I was trying to do, which was just created like it was like tombstones in my shower. I was like, never using this again, never using that again. You're basically naked as a brand all the time, and everyone's just coming in with paparazzi cameras and taking pictures of you. Like I don't.
That really takes it to a disturbing place. Today on the Unofficial Shopify Podcast, our guest has sold 250,000 shampoo bars. We'll get into what that is. 250,000 shampoo bars in 4 years without so much as a Meta ad, an Amazon listing, or an influencer partnership. All right, that's quite incredible and unheard of. And we're going to find out why someone would want to play this game on hard mode like that, right? For most merchants, I would hazard a guess that it's 70 to 80% of your orders, especially in those first 5 years, are going to come from probably Meta ads. One of, Facebook and Instagram ads is going to be that scaling. And it is so hard and can be so frustrating. And so to have someone who has had that success without making a deal with the devil, with Amazon listings and with Meta ads, that's incredible. I want to hear about it. So joining us today is Dip Haircare founder, Kurt Assaraf. Kate, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm actually so excited to be here. I feel that intro was a little bit out of body because sometimes I just don't hear really what it is.
It's I guess it's different to have that third party confirmation, right? Because you've been building this brick by brick, as they say, for I imagine this started over probably 5 years ago.
Yeah.
All right, tell me, Dip Haircare, what's it sell?
Well, we sell plastic-free shampoo and conditioner bars, and as well as a few other beauty products. But the bulk of our business are shampoo and conditioner bars that replace really high-end salon stuff. So, our shampoo bar is one of these things that it makes it so that you never have to choose between your workout and a good hair day. It's gentle enough to use every single day. So that solves a problem for a lot of people. And the conditioner bar is just secretly my middle finger to the beauty industry. It lasts a full year, and it can replace something like Oribe or Pureology or any of these really expensive hair care products. So whether you care about being plastic free or not, it's not part of the story. It just saves someone a lot of money and makes you look like you come out of the salon.
You sent me these. I got last weekend. They arrived at my house. I loved the packaging, and I'm a big fan of fancy soaps. This is my first shampoo bar, but I love my fancy handmade soap. That's like my treat to myself, or the fancy soaps. And so I was thrilled to get these and try them. And I don't know if you could tell, but it performed just as well as shampoo. It works.
Yeah, you have beautiful hair. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm basically a peacock at this point. But why do this? When did this start? What was the impetus?
So, 10 years ago, I read about that's 11 years ago. I had read about the horrors of plastic, not only just the accumulation. Everyone thinks about the accumulation of plastic, but also like what it does to your health, and not just human health, but also animal health. So I had read that I was reading this book called Boys Adrift, and it was about, I was pregnant with my first son, and it was basically about like how to raise like a strong boy. My older brother gave it to me. I already had 2 sons. And so I was reading this, and it was like, talking about video games and talking about how like, hunting and being in touch with nature isn't something anymore. And then there was a chapter on plastics, which was just like a kind of a blip in the book. But the author talked about how in the Potomac River, runoff from a plastic factory had changed the aquatic life, the hormonal health of the aquatic life so much that male fish started laying eggs. And to me, that was like probably one of the most horrifying things I'd ever heard, just because, to be alive is to love nature, and to think that we're doing stuff that is so detrimental, not only to, aquatic life, but just ourselves. And now, 11 years later, you see now it's mainstream to like be panicking about plastic. But for 10 years
Yep.
ago, like 10, 11 years ago, like this was kind of this secret, and it was being held away from consumers. So on my own journey, I tried to reduce plastic, but so many of the product offerings were just kind of left me disappointed, and they were also more expensive. And so for myself, I kept investing in like plastic free shampoo and conditioner, and it did the exact opposite of what I was trying to do, which was just created like it was look like tombstones in my shower. I was like, never using this again, never using that again. And I was like, I can solve it. I've been in the beauty industry for 20 years. Like, I can solve this. I can make something really great that I would actually want to use again. And so that frustration is what brought me to create Dip.
We know what you aren't doing with your advertising.
Yeah.
What are you doing? How did this happen? You hit 7 figures in 14 months,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It was fast.
That's quite unusual. It's
Yeah.
extraordinary with especially when you go, "Oh, 0 influencers, 0 paid ads, no Amazon."
Yeah. Well,
How? Like,
so
what's left? What's the channel that worked?
so I know for me, I know that plastic plastic free beauty is just not really mainstream yet, and a lot of people don't care about. But the people that do care about it are walking into zero waste stores and refill stores. If anyone doesn't know what those are, it's an emerging channel, and it's you bring in like your empty laundry jug and you just fill it with more laundry detergent. You don't have to keep buying the plastic jug over and over again. They also a lot of them have food, so you can go and instead of buying pasta at the store, you can go refill your pasta, your mango cheeks, your coffee, your tea, your spices, like literally so many things. So there's these refill stores all over the place, and that's where people were already buying shampoo bars, and that's where they were already annoyed with them, you know? So that's I decided, in the very beginning, I did like the very while everyone else was going digital, I went analog. I called store after store. And I was like, if they're not the best bars you've ever tried, then don't worry about it, but I'll just send them to you for free. And
Okay.
sometimes, I mean, many times, I had people call me from their towel after the first shower because, you know,
That good, huh?
yeah, I think so. They thought so. And some stores started with, selling a few $100s of dip a month. Like they took an initial order of a few $100s. And now some of them are selling three to $6,000 a month in stores.
How many brick and mortar stores do you have?
There's probably around 350 because there are like some are, obviously with Amazon, it's hard to compete. So a lot of them close and then a few open up. So it kind of dances around between three and 400 all the time. Um,
Excellent.
but some of it's one of those reasons like I kind of see what's happening here is that people don't trust ads anymore. And so they'll trust someone who has an eco-friendly store that has tried every version of a shampoo bar and every version of a conditioner bar and decides to stock that brand, you know? So it's very different than the influencer world where someone tries one version of something and just shouts it out to the world. But like these store owners have tried some of them hundreds of brands, some of them, 20 brands. You don't need they were like me. They were like they're like, "Okay, like I guess I'll sell one of these." I'll call them tombstones, previous brands. Um, and then when you find something that really works and really delivers on its promises, like you want to tell all your customers about it. So I used that network of zero waste stores where I knew my type of customer was already walking in and already cared. And I created a partnership with stores like that in almost every state.
So we've heard about a common strategy people use on the show, especially with a product like yours, where you know I'm not selling an iPhone. It has a much more reasonable cost of goods sold. Is product seeding. Product seeding strategy. You just go find influencers. Hey, love what you're doing. Can I send you this product? No strings attached. And then you follow up.
Yeah.
Oh, you liked it? Okay. Would you want an affiliate code, et cetera? And so you get the content that way. You get it out in the world. You develop the word of mouth that way, and it works if the product is good and you put in the effort. Here, you've taken that concept, but then applied it to uh, a wholesale brick and mortar independent store strategy that's worked out very well, and kind of cut out the middleman a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's because you believed in the product, they believed in the product. It's rare to find the products that sell themselves. When you have I think the catch is you have to have the right audience, the right person, and good product. And
There's
so
no
yours,
use. There's no use selling your product to people that don't want it.
yeah, yes,
Why
and that's
try?
like that. That's the frustration with meta ads, right? It's
No.
interruption marketing, and it's tough.
Meta ads, the criminal thing about meta ads is once you start, they start sending like your ads to every single person who engages with your competition. Then you have to pay more to fight your competition. Like where's the win for the brand on there? You can only win on discount. Not it's not you can only win, but it's hard to win without discounts and like really like undercutting yourself. And I know so many brand owners that play that game, and now you can like reverse engineer someone else's ads with AI, but when a competitor looks at our ads library, there's nothing there. And I think that's really funny. Like they can't figure out how to how to compete because they can't figure out quite, it's not that they can't figure it out, but it's like the messaging isn't exposed everywhere.
Will there ever be a world where you advertise?
Yeah, maybe. I'm not really against advertising. I'm against exposure of expose because I have like over 200 competitors. And so just in the bar brand, like bar shampoo and conditioner space. So I'm not gonna invite them over to scrape my ads and my strategy, which is basically what everyone who's like running ads is doing right now. They're literally, I mean, there it's you're basically naked as a brand all the time, and everyone's just coming in with paparazzi cameras and taking pictures of you. Like, I don't
That really takes it to a disturbing place. I
that's
hadn't
how
thought
it
of it that
is.
way.
So, I don't know, like, I don't know how you protect your brand if you're running meta ads. They've made it so hard to protect yourself.
What about Amazon? Because that one, to me, feels like, now that you have this successful brand and other channels, if you were to plug Amazon in with just like a hero product, would that work? I would imagine that would work as an acquisition channel, or is it the same fear? The same problem is by putting the listing out there, if it's successful, it will attract others.
It would work for me. I would make tons of money if I put my stuff on Amazon. But what about all of these stores that I
Why do
feel
we hate money?
well, well, I don't hate money, but I do hate the idea of making it so easy for people to compete with the stores that are really trying to do the right thing. Like, I think opening a refill store is probably one of the most rock and roll things you can do in this like age of hyper consumerism. And the idea that if I put my products on Amazon, there's one small store that sells over $75,000 worth of dip a year. And, like what's going to happen to her sales? What's going to happen to her everything? Like the idea of doing that to the stores that help build the brand, like it seems a little greedy to build your brand on the backs of all these small stores and then turn around and be like, "You know what? I'll just 10x my sales on Amazon and like hopefully you guys do okay." I don't know whether I can do that, and again, like I always kind of ground myself in that mission that I want someone to go and buy shampoo and conditioner bar and then see other things like peppered around that makes their life easier that has been vetted. Because in this like digital slop of marketing right now,
Yeah.
someone can churn out 600 AI creator fake UGC ads in, 15, 30 minutes. Like, what's left for people to protect themselves against shitty products?
I think to your point too, if you were to sell on Amazon, it sounds like it would be, we assume it would be successful, but it would also cannibalize those brick and mortar sales.
Yeah, and I love the brick and mortar stores when you have so many competitors like I do who are dying to stop running meta ads and trying to like they can't, well, I'm sure they can infiltrate, right? But the mission and the brand becomes so much stronger when you reinvest in the stores, or say if you don't have stores, say you reinvest in your top customers. Like there's a lot of different ways to do it.
So you've got this very, like, this local first distribution model, and you also have a Shopify store that looks good. How do you help get those things to play together nicely?
Yeah, so it's actually really the secret sauce is not undercutting the stores with sales. Say for example, if someone doesn't live near a store, the shipping threshold is $5, but once they get their products, it says like in there like, "Hey, if you have a store near you that you think would be a great fit for dip, like bring this card in there, we'll give you a gift card if that store puts in an order." So it can be, you can source it locally. And then also whenever a box goes out, I think you saw on your box there was a sticker that said like, check out the store locator. Like I'm always trying to marry those two communities. And it works. It's nice. Like it's nice to know that a brand for once is trying to reinvest where you live instead of siphoning all of the money and all of the salaries from everyone where you live and bringing it all like in a spaceship up to Amazon. Because, Amazon just laid off 30,000 people, or that was like the rumor number. This is how you protect your community from that. You reinvest where you live. Brands are giving all of the power to Amazon and forgetting that the real power is kind of differentiating where you put your products to be sold.
On your site, dipalready.com, you have a store locator, and there's a note under it. It says small stores are closing at an alarming rate. Check with your nearest store first. They might have just what you need. If they don't, let us know the store's name and we'll send you a free shipping code as a thank you for trying to shop locally. That's so brilliant and stays on brand. Like the messaging is really clear with what you're trying to do here.
And it double helps us because if a store doesn't have inventory, that's how we know. Like someone will go in there and be like, "Oh, they didn't have what I needed." And then I can say to the store, "Hey, you got to restock." Like people are this person in your town like wants to buy it here and they probably are part of a network of friends that would also buy it. And so that's I mean it's really fun, but on the Shopify site we try and make it so that people are totally aware of the mission, but they don't feel bad if they don't want to shop in store.
This is my first experience with a business that is an online store, Shopify store that's structured in this way, and I really like it.
Thanks.
It's very clever. It's very positive. And then, looking at your product detail pages on your store, there's a lot I like about it. You've got video UGC here. If I had to guess off my top of my head, it's Most app.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I got
I
it
love
right.
the Most app. It's so great.
Yeah, no, that's a nice app. We've used that on several client stores. I have no relationship to them. It's a good app. And then in your reviews, your product reviews, which like the shampoo bar I use today, 4.9 rating, 241 reviews. And then there's the little AI magic button and it says see review summary. I've never seen this before. And it looks like I think you're using Yotpo for
I'm
reviews,
using
right?
Yotpo, which is I bought the most expensive version of Yotpo because I really wanted it to just have everything that a customer would need to feel safe purchasing from our store.
It has this like drawer. You click see review summary and a little drawer pops out. It says customers say, but it's really clever.
It's
You
fun,
know,
right? I
a
love that.
substantial number of customers remark that their hair feels amazing. Like,
And those
you're
are
not
all
beating
real.
that.
Like, there's no one in there that's incentivized to write anything about us, which is so fun. Like, that's been, like, a slow build trying to build, like, the most authentic kind of version of our store we could do, but it is really, really fun to know and have, like, blast that out to our customers, like, "These are all real people buying this."
Let's do some quick questions. As you've been, scaling over the last 4 years, best hire for delegation. What have you gotten off your plate that you're like, "I should have done that sooner?"
Oh, man. So I actually, one of my employees is used to be a refill store owner and a really successful one. And she had to move away from where her store was like geographically located. And I was like, I'll take you. You're exactly, everything inside and out about the brand. She also used to sell around $6,000 worth of dip a month in her store, so she knew it really well, she knew how to move it, and now she's the person in charge of retailer outreach, and she can speak both sides of the language. She can speak to exactly what store owners wanna hear, and she can speak exactly to all the sustainability stuff, so she is incredible. And then I also, I mentioned I invested in my very own warehouse and my own factory to make my company vertical, and though there's 4 people in that building, and that is the other big investment that I made that has really, really paid off.
What's one thing you wish every Shopify store owner would stop doing?
Ooh, I think if you're selling anywhere at retail, I urge you to not undercut your retailers. It's so much easier to sell to a retailer, I think, than to sell to people one by one.
For sure.
For me, you do both, right? Like, yeah, everyone has a blended strategy, but if you're undercutting the stores, you're asking for just like slow sales velocity there, and I don't see the point. If you just choose, if that's what your plan is to kind of discount to oblivion, like that is a marketing strategy, and it can be a really good one, especially if you're updating your inventory all the time, like you're selling T-shirts or you're selling, something where that people need over and over again. It's replenishable or consumable, but like I would suggest to take it easy on the discounts. Like if you have something really great that you also put on shelf, like please make it so that those stores can sell it as well.
Absolutely. So, if I wanted to buy Dip Hair Care, where would I go?
So you would go to dipalready.com and then you'd fumble through all of our pages if you really want to do a deep dive. And then you can purchase online on the site, or you can go to store locator, make it pretty easy to find and see if it exists in your town. We sell in surf shops, salons, and zero waste stores, obviously. And sometimes, if you're very skeptical, you can go into one of those stores or salons and be like, "Hey, is this everything it says it is?" And they will let you know without me hovering over, and they'll let you know why they stock it and whether it's good.
I'm gonna check it out. Well, actually, I don't have to reorder yet. I've got my own bar. Yeah, I'll be back later. Maybe I'll just get on the newsletter. Kate Assaraf, dipalready.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kurt. This has been a really fun one.